Beats Boxing Mayhem here. Ismail Abdusalam. I'm here with the newly crowned WBA World Champion, Asmantas Stanionis. I thank you for making time. Asmantas, how are you feeling? You're a new world champion. You're coming off a brutal fight. How are you about 2 months later? Are you still recovering or are you already back in the gym?
Feels amazing. It was my dream when I was a child as a kid. Now I executed my game plan and I have now different goals, different dreams. So to the next one moving.
Got it, got it. So now what people will realize is when you were actually fighting, or at the end of the fight, I saw that you were praying. So we at home and in the arena, we thought that you won outside. We thought it was pretty convincing. But being in the ring, did you have any doubts at the end that you'd actually have won the fight, even with the point deduction?
No, I have zero doubt. I was thinking I won the fight, but it's boxing. You never know. He's a champion, so I don't know what the judges will give. So I was just hoping, because I can see how he could win. I did my job and I executed everything.
Got it. So I believe you have fought Butaev a few times in the amateurs. You knew he was going to be coming right at you, kind of a head-to-head fight. I thought your punch placement was great. Was there anything in the fight that he did differently than what you expected?
No, nothing. Everything what I was expecting he brings on. I was thinking he will come, to fight, bang, he'll throw a lot of body shots, everything. I knew this, and I knew he came, with dirty boxing, and I knew that will happen also. So I was prepared for everything.
Got it. Now, I think this was your first time fighting in AT&T Stadium, and you see how big it is, but this was earlier on the card, and I'm pretty sure you realize with American fans, a lot of them come late. So it's like you're in this big arena, but it's not as big of a crowd, so you can kind of feel and see all the punches and everything. Have you ever fought in a situation like that where you're in such a big space, but there's not as many fans? And if so, does it affect you any differently fighting in a spot like that?
I always like to, when I come to the fight, I always want to come to see the arena, before everything started. It's like every time I'm doing this, just to see the arena, size him up, and that's it. So when I will go in, it will be like, no surprises. So yeah, it was a huge arena. I never fought in such a huge arena, but I was fighting also on the, COVID restrictions. So it didn't feel like everything the same. It felt some of the things, but when you're fighting in empty arena, when it's a pandemic, you can hear all the shots, all the breathing, everything. But now on this fight, some people came to the later rounds, it built up little by little.
All
So
right.
the arena was like huge. Yeah, amazing.
So another thing with fighting, I feel like, especially when you're in a tough fight, there's always that moment where you kind of have to bite down on your gum shield and really push through it. I think people don't realize, courage is actually not just, it's not that you don't experience fear or doubt, it's that you know how to overcome it mentally. So when was that moment during that fight where you kind of said, okay, I need to get this second win and really push and get this win? When was that moment for you in this fight?
I knew this coming into this fight is going to be my toughest fight, and I was always thinking I can push through the fire, I can go in the fire and, go like very deep, So I was just thinking before. So when I went to the ring, I was thinking, let's see what I made of, and I went there and it was never a moment where I need, yeah, let's go, but I just like, it's crazy to say, but I like wars. I like the fighting wars, like going toe to toe. Exchange the punches. Get the bleeding. It's my kind of style.
Got you, got you. So on that end, being that you didn't have that moment, was there a moment where you felt there was a little give in Butaev where he might have started experiencing doubt and kind of faltered a little bit? Did you feel that at any point during the fight on his end?
I saw he got frustrated, because he was thinking, because the corner, when I saw the replay, the corner said he's done, but when I was watching, I'm not done, it's like, oh my God, I will not give up, I was thinking the same in the fight, and after the fight, when I watched the replay, I will not give up, you know. So he was punching everything, gave me all his best, you know, and he couldn't do damage to me. So I think he was like mad, you know, that he's still standing, he's still coming, you know, and he's still fighting. So I think he lost something, you know, in that moment, and I was just going in.
Got it. Got it. So one thing when I was doing research on you, I found interesting is that you prepare your own meals and your own food. And I think a lot of people don't realize in Lithuania, I believe rye bread is kind of like one of the main foods that's used with a lot of dishes. But you're a fighter, so I wonder if that still the case, or are your meals a little bit different because you have to have a specialized diet as an elite fighter?
No, my diet started like, let's say I started doing intermittent fasting like 3 years ago. So I was doing a lot of research. Like it's like 16 hours you are fasting, you know, or 8 hours you are eating, but eating healthy, you know, and I'm watching my calories. I was, you know, studying and buying books of nutrition, you know, it's our body, and you know I have to train hard, so I need fuel and right fuel, not, you know, like junk food or processed food. So I'm very into, you know, into the diet and foods.
Got it. So a lot of fighters, when they get to your level, overseas fighters, they kind of think, okay, maybe it's time to relocate full time to the US just to make it easier. But I noticed you haven't had any problems going back and forth, traveling to LA and wild card for sparring and all that. Do you think there's going to be a time where you're going to live full time in the US, or are you more comfortable just traveling back and forth for the big fights?
At this moment, you know, I love my country, so I have to stay here, you know. I just know I'm like family guy, you know, and you know, in US it's a little bit, you know, and it gave me opportunity and the platform, everything. And I saw like new people, you know, I met new people. I got like into, you know, I have close people to me, you know, and I'm very thankful, you know, that I could see other side. But I'm staying in Lithuania.
Got it. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear. We're glad to have you, even if it's just for the fights. So I wanted to ask you this about your division. Now you're the world champion, but it feels like there's two different welterweight divisions. You have I call it the older guard, which would be Terrence Crawford, Spence. I'd even would put Ugas in there, even though he was supposed to fight you, and Keith Thurman. And then you have what I call the current or the new class of welterweights, which is yourself, Butaev. I would also say Virgil Ortiz, even Cody Crawley, guys like that. So do you feel like you're going to have to wait until that Spence Crawford fight happens? Because it feels like after that, they'll probably move up or leave the division and that'll keep things open. Or do you feel there's still a chance you can kind of squeeze in there and maybe get one of those older guard fighters in the ring to fight you?
I want to, you know, so of course I want to get a fight with Spence or Crawford. You know, I love the challenges, you know, and I always want to test myself, you know. So yeah, it will be cool, you know, to fight some of these guys, but I don't think so. It will happen, but who knows, you know. I hope they can make, you know, that my team can work on this and to get this fight, you know, even with Spence Crawford, Thurman, doesn't matter.
Got it, got it. So on the other end, I feel like anytime you're in the division, you kind of know, like you mentioned with Butaev, you knew coming in that was going to be a rough fight, that was going to be a war. So when you're looking overall in the division, who else do you feel is going to give you a war like that? The best guy that would give you like a back and forth war like you got with Butaev, but on a higher level possibly?
I think both of them, like Spence and Crawford, can give that kind of fight, you know. They are both tough, you know. They are good fighters, you know, and I would love to compete with them. I think they both can give that kind of fight.
Got it, got it. So being that you mentioned both of them, got to ask you, I feel like I have to ask everybody this, being that it seems like the fight may happen this year, possibly. If you had to pick, who do you feel is going to win that fight, Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford?
If I have to bet on my house, I would bet on Spence. But it's going to be a tough fight. Both fighters are very, but I would lead with Spence. You know, he's a bigger guy. That's why I think.
Got it, got it. Well, I appreciate you making time. I know it's rough, you know, being overseas and all that. We worked through the bandwidth issues. We're looking
Yeah.
forward to seeing you fight again. I think you were in a Fighter of the Year candidate with Butaev, so hopefully we can get to see you sometime later on this year in America. And best of luck. Is there anything that you wanted to leave the fans with?
Thank you very much. I just want to thank fans, you know, for all the support after the last fight. You know, everybody was excited, you know, and everybody liked the fight. So I'm happy, you know, that I can bring some exciting fights, you know, to them and some memories.
Excellent. Eimantas, I appreciate your time and looking forward to seeing you later on this year. Take care.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Excellent.
All right, appreciate you.